All right, so we're now going to take it a step further, and we're going to be graphing multiple things on the same graph. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do A as a warm-up. That'll be down below. That's easy. The 4 is the y-intercept, 1/3 is the slope, and it said less than, right? So what was the y-intercept? 4, up 1/3. We'll go backwards, down 1, left 3. We would have to draw a dashed line, and I believe it said less than. So A would look like this. You'd have to shade below because it says less than. It would be a dashed line because it just said plain less than. Okay. Now, though, we get into some harder ones, right? So take a look at this. B. You know what? I don't even want to do B. Let's forget about that one. What we're going to do is we're going to do C and D, though. Okay? So we'll do C here, and we'll do D here. So you got to keep track of your stuff here. This gets a little bit. It's not hard, but it can be a little tricky. So we got to get y by itself. All right. So it means subtract 3x. Not much room here. Sorry about that. So that would be what? I'm going to write it over here. Negative y is greater than or equal to negative 3x plus 2. Now I have to divide by this negative 1. Now remember, that switches this direction to less than. Those negatives cancel. There you go. There's the negative 2. Up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1. Let's go backwards, down 3, left 1. This is a solid line, but don't do any shading yet. We're going to do the shading last. Now I'm going to do the other one in a different color. Okay, that has a y-intercept of 0, and it's down 2 over 3 for the slope. Down 2 over 3. Let's go backwards, up 2, left 3. That's going to be a dashed line because it's plain old less than. So let's take a look at these two things. Now we have to do the shading. All right. So look at this here. We have to be below the red one, but we also have to be below the blue one. So we have to be below both of them. So what zone are we below both of them? Like here, in this zone, we have 4 zones to look at. Here, 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 and here. See, here, I'm below the red, but I'm above the blue, so that's no good. Here, I'm below the red and below the blue, so it looks like that's what we want. That's our solution zone. Okay, so these can get tricky. Okay, you see this, neither one of these works because you're above the red on both those. So let's see if we can do, here we're going to do 4 lines on one. This can be a lot to keep track of. So watch this here. First one I'll do in red. The good thing is they're all solved. There's the negative 1. Slope is up 1 over 1. So that's easy. That's a solid line. And I do my shading last with these, okay? Blue, there's the 4. Down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2. We'll go backwards. There's the blue. I'm going to run out of good colors here. Green, I can do this in green. Whoops, didn't change. Remember, x in a plane number is a vertical line. 1, 2, there's the negative 3. So that's going to be a vertical line right there. And the last one, let's see if we can do that in purple. That's a horizontal line. That's solid as well. So I try to I'm going to start with the horizontal and the vertical ones. You see here, look, the vertical less than -3 means you have to be to the left. So everything to the right we can ignore. We have to be above the purple. So right now we're in this zone here, okay? But look, here it says we have to be below the blue. Well, we're naturally going to be above the red if we're above the purple in this zone. We have to be below the blue, though. So it looks like we're going to be in this zone here, okay? And it would stay below that blue. So these can be a little tricky. We're going to do a few more. And I'm not going to do this whole sheet, but do a couple of these so you get the hang of this. So I'm going to do the first one in red. There's the -1, up 1 over 1, just so you understand how to do this. And then, again, that's a solid line. Shading comes last. We'll do the other one in blue. That's going to be a solid line as well, horizontal. So we have to be above the blue and below the red, because it says greater than with the blue, it says less than with the red. So that's going to be in this zone right here, right? And you see how this shaded area goes out to these letters E and D. So for number 1, you're going to put in E and D. You get the idea there, right? I'll skip over and do number 3. I'll do that in blue. There's the +1. There's the down 1 over 1. Let's go backwards. That's going to be a dashed line. Now I'm going to switch to red. -2. Up 1 over 2. That's good. We'll go backwards. That's going to be a dashed line as well. So we have to be above the red and below the blue. So above the red and below the blue, that'll be right in here. You see? And that goes all the way out to these letters H-E-B. So number 3 is H-E-B. I'll do one more. I'll do number 5. So I have to subtract x from both sides. So I would have -3y is less than or equal to -x plus 12. If I divide by -3, remember I'm dividing by a negative, so that changes. When I divide by -3, these negatives cancel, but remember it's 1/3 x, and that would be -4. Up 1 over 3. Solid line. And then the other one we'll do in blue. That's going to be a, whoops, that says +2, not -2. I'm going to have a dashed line right here. I have to be to the right of the blue, because this is greater than. I have to be above the red, so that would be right in there. So I got ERH for number 5. All right, you can finish the rest. You might want to stop it here. I am going to share the answer down here, so you might want to stop if you want to try yourself. I like this one. I think this is a clever one. But that's it. That's what we got here. Okay.